afternoon. Welcome to Lunch Bites. I'm Pastor Rich. I'm the lead pastor here at Lake Missionary Church, and we're so glad that you joined us today. Today I want to talk about joy. I want to talk about the idea of joy and what it does in our lives. And so I looked up the word, and Merriam-Webster defines it in three ways. First, the emotion evoked by well-being, success, or good fortune, or by the prospect of possessing what one desires, or delight. The expression of or exhibition of such emotion, such as gaiety. Number two, a state of happiness or felicity, or bliss. Number three, a source or cause of delight. So that third one I want to focus on for just a minute. James writes in first chapter, verses 2 and 3, it says, "Consider it a great joy, my brothers, whenever you experience various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces endurance." And then verse 4 goes on to say, "But endurance must do its complete work so that you may be mature and complete, lacking nothing." Consider it pure joy, my brothers, whenever you experience various trials. I would say that most of us don't like trials. Trials are sometimes tough, and they take us through things that we don't want to go through. But what we know about trials is when we go through them, we are generally better on the other side. So that's the joy that he's asking us to take with this idea. So if we go back to the definition, that third definition, a source or cause of delight. So in trials, what is the source or cause for delight? Why should we have joy? And it's much like what we've been talking about over the last several weeks. It's the idea that our joy, our source of joy is God. He's taking us through the trials. He's going to walk us through each of these trials, and He's going to get us to the other side if we're willing to give our lives to Him. Now, sometimes we get into trials, and we like to take the trials on for ourselves. We want to try to control it. We want to try and make it better. We want to try and work our way through it. I don't know why we do that, other than maybe it's just so we can say, hey, we accomplished something, or we got through something. But the reality is that God wants us to take those trials and give them to Him, allow Him to work, and so that we can have the joy on the other side, because our source of joy is Him. So as we go through life and as we go through our weeks and our days, we want to try and think about the idea of what is the reason for our joy. It's not the trials, it's not the situations we're going through, and it's not even the good things we go through. It's not the birth of a new baby. It's not the marriage to your loved one, to your spouse. It's not whatever brings you joy. Being with your grandkids. That's not what brings you joy. What brings you joy is God. God brings you joy. These other things that we pull into joy, they are all tools that God uses to bring our joy. See, true joy only comes from the Father. And when we live in true joy, then we understand what it means to truly love one another. So let's try that this week. Let's take our joy and realize that our joy comes from God. It doesn't come from the things we experience or the things that we do or see. It comes from God. The things we do or see are just tools that He uses to show Himself to us. So I want you to take that and try that this week, see how that works. So I want to thank you for stopping by, and we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Have a great afternoon.